in search of good jobs and payments. That's why you find long queues and also poor infrastructure in some countries, which lead to death of many peoples.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Liam.
This is Hillary from Uganda. I would like to emphasize a point of Emma has stressed out. He has talked about education, and I believe it is a better suggestion, because when people are educated, more traditionalists or cultural beliefs like genital mutilation will be brought down. This will reduce many effects and also help us to understand in which other ways we can control other problems like poverty. So education is really necessary. And also I have a question. I'm wondering, in other schools, Kenya, Nairobi, Benghazi, how are they getting informed of the current situations? Because for us in Uganda, at school we have behavior change program, which we normally carry out at the end of the term. So I'm wondering, how do they get to know? Do they have the same system as us, or it's different? Yeah.
I just want to refer back to, I think, Kampala's question about doctors and too many patients. I think it all comes back down to education. If enough people are actually educated, they can become doctors, and they can have more doctors, and the country can actually prosper. But like in Uganda, there are too many, like, to be a doctor like that, you have to spend a lot of money, because it's going to be like private school and everything. So the government has to put more money into education.
I agree with what Brian from Kampala is saying and what Michael's saying. I think that instead of giving them food and instead of giving them vaccinations, we should educate them on how to make the food and grow crops and how to make the vaccination. Sorry.
Hi, it's Rahila again. I agree with Michael as well, but also in most countries, parents can't afford their children to go to education because they have to pay for education, whereas in the UK it's free for us. So I think it's more important for education to be free for from a range of ages, because without education you can't go far in life. And the fact that most people are saying that there's lots of patients in hospitals, well, obviously because there's no doctors involved, because we need to educate children to learn medicine to become what they want.
Sarah in Benghazi.
Some of them were talking about how there aren't enough doctors, but we're facing a different problem. We do have many doctors, but these doctors aren't qualified enough, because our grade boundaries and our education is really bad, that anybody can become a doctor because of all the corruption that has been going on.
I also agree with Michael that we need more doctors, but I think over here in the UK and more developed countries, we have too many doctors. And I think once you get past a certain level of achievement, you should be sent to a country where you can help. And you should still be paid by the people in your country, but you should be able to go over to the countries and help and basically volunteer, but still get paid by your own country.
Listen, we're coming to the end of the show, and as we sit here around, if you like, a virtual table, I'd be interested to know if any of you, Kampala, Ekaterinburg, Benghazi, Nairobi, here in London, any of you have heard anything that has made you want to swap places with anybody else around the world? If you're in Kampala, would you rather be in London? If you're in London, would you rather be in Benghazi?
Yeah, this is Brian from Uganda. Yeah, basically on the education, I think it's not that not only education should be provided to the people, but it should be quality education. It should be extended to everybody. Because I believe here in Uganda, the government is trying its best to provide education to everybody.
So would you rather, in that case, would you rather come to a school in London? Would you rather come to Deptford Green School?
Yeah, if possible.
We'll see what we can do. I'm not going to make any promises. I don't think I've got that kind of power, but we'll see what we can do.
I was really interested in the point that Sarah raised in Benghazi about the treatment of women and the sort of jobs, that the fact that they can't go on to do vet work and things like that. So I was wondering if it's like Western responsibility to sort of like promote that equality across the world.
I think this question is to Oma and Sarah in Benghazi. I think one of your leaders died a couple of months ago.
Do you know what, Liam, you're going to hate me for this, but we're really running out of time and we can't get into questions now. But listen, I want to thank everybody for taking part in World Have You Say. A huge thanks to Bill Gates for joining us on this very special edition, and to Speakers to Schools for him bringing him here to join us. All of the schools taking part: Kampala, Nairobi, Ekaterinburg and Benghazi. If your school wants to take part in a similar programme, you can go to bbc.com/world class. You can watch a shortened version of this programme on World Have You Say on BBC World News on Friday at 15 hours GMT. Final thing for me to say is I'm taking a bit of time off. I'm going off to have a little baby very soon. So I will speak to you all in a few months' time.